welcome to Love is Blind!
Love is Blind may seem like an instant success, but there's a lot more that goes on behind the pods to lay the foundation for the dating show to become a household name.
Is Love Blind? I hope you guys prove that it is.
Shooting dates. The success of the first season of the show led to a no-brainer decision for Netflix to renew the series again.
This is good already. We're barely started here.
However, filming didn't go quite as smoothly as the unexpected pandemic had delayed production for several months. They were finally able to start shooting for 8 weeks in April of 2021. 10 of those days were spent in the famous pods where 40 to 50 singles would be part of the initial cast. But if they didn't form a strong connection, they were let go. It was done in a speed dating style where they would initially just have 8 to 10 minutes until there were no limitations as to how long they would be chatting. It's been quite a while since production ended, and any successful couples would have to have been dating or even married for several months in secret. That's wild. COVID restrictions. Season 2 filming was a lot more difficult than before due to there being a pandemic. But funnily enough, the experiment was almost designed for a social distancing situation. Even though singles were put into pods for the beginning of the show, they actually had to quarantine in bubble pods for 2 more weeks before filming even started. Once it was safe enough, they actually were able to bring the couples back to their hometowns to see friends and family as they found a safe way to shoot the season. Host duties. Hosts Vanessa and Nick may just be the perfect couple to host this show because they too have experienced being emotionally connected first when they were dating long distance for work. Vanessa told Insider, "We had the foundation of that emotional relationship before we took it to a physical level, got engaged, got married, and had kids. That foundation has been, in my opinion, what's helped us in our marriage and helped us as parents." Aside from hosting the show, they are actually very involved in the lives of the contestants. As the contestants are pretty much stuck in the pods to themselves, the hosts would give them advice for hours every day, serving as mentors to the new couples.
You guys are going to finally have the chance to fall in love, based solely on who you are on the inside.
Then they would share details with each other while drinking cocktails.
A lot of details.
Yep.
Looks like the show may be a bonding experience for this married couple as well. Vanessa said they would chat like 2 high school girls gossiping about potential couples. She even recalled knowing the show would be a success just from how intriguing their conversations about filming were. Vanessa teased that they do have their favorite contestants, but they won't spill who. Authenticity. While in Season 1, contestants were not only blind in what their future partners looked like, but they were also blind to the whole process.
This literally is the first time an experiment like this has ever been done.
Not knowing what to expect or what viewer reactions would be, so they were a lot more genuine in wanting to find love. However, producers fear that Season 2 may not have the same authenticity, as people are now aware of how successful the show is and may want to come on just for fame or even fake their relationships. Vanessa told Insider, "I truly believe that if people come into Season 2 with an open heart and mind, that they will find love. But if they come in wanting to be famous, it's going to blow up in their face." Looks like casting directors would have to implement a tougher screening process. Location. While the first season took place in Atlanta, the famous pods will be moving locations to the Big Bean City of Chicago for Season 2, which is where most of the cast would be from. Casting.
I haven't found someone that appreciates my love as much as I appreciate theirs. That's why I'm here.
Are you single and looking for romance on Love is Blind? Well, it turns out the casting process is actually quite difficult. You can't exactly sign up to be on it. The contestants were uniquely scouted on popular dating apps like Tinder or on social media platforms like Instagram. Casting directors would swipe left and right to invite singles who were looking for love.
This would be an awesome story to tell our kids. I met your dad in a social experiment where I was dating 14 other guys.
They wanted real people, not typical actors or models who were used to playing it up for the camera. From the looks of the Season 2 cast, it seems like they have found some pretty successful ones too. For instance, to name a few, Aja is a paralegal, Hasib is a lawyer, Chastity is a business owner, Nick is a VP of marketing, Rocky is an executive, while Shane and Trista are brokers. So if you're interested in perhaps forming a strong emotional connection with the potential to get married within 2 months,
I just can't wait.
Get swiping. You never know where your next match could lead you.
You're going to be in for quite a ride. It's going to be a lot of fun going forward with this.
Secret to success. The reason why the show did so well is because everyone was taken aback by just how important deep emotional connection is for a relationship to work, as swiping right and left based on a picture on Tinder seems to be the norm these days. In the Season 2 trailer, you can hear a contestant noting that the experiment really interested her because she didn't think that she had the physical assets to attract a man.
I am terrified that I'm going to find out that maybe my personality isn't enough.
The creator, Chris Colin, said he always knew he had a hit on his hands because of how interesting the premise was, but he had no idea how well it would work. Past married couples have mentioned that they were taken aback by just how fast they fell in love too, but reassured fans it's real. Plus, when you're free from distractions, meaning no cell phones, TV, or computer, and you're just in a room chatting for hours, your thoughts are just consumed by them, which is really beautiful to witness. Wedding. Even though it seems quite unbelievable to have a whole wedding within just 2 months of knowing each other, the officiation is legitimate.
What do you think of all this?
Kind of crazy.
As for who pays for the ceremony, it was revealed that Netflix does supply basics, but there's only so much budgeting, and many couples had to finance an unexpected wedding with their own money. Many of their wedding dresses especially went over budget. This means that the couples that do get married must be really serious about each other, because that's a big commitment.
And that's out of our control.
Lack of resources. Believe it or not, there are even more engagements that happen behind the scenes that we don't know about. Producers actually underestimated just how well their emotional bonding experiment would work out. They had expected just 1 or 2 couples to pop the question. They prepared for a maximum of 5 engagements, but in reality, it was a total of 8. So why weren't the rest shown on screen? After all, wouldn't producers want there to be more romance involved?
We hope so.
Well, it turns out that production didn't account for the budget for all 8 couples to take their romance to Mexico.
This is paradise. Can't we just move in here and live here forever?
Which was probably a huge disappointment. Since they couldn't predict which couples would have the most successful outcomes, producers practically picked names out of a hat. The couples that were left behind from the first season are Rory and Danielle and Wesley and Lexi, so they didn't get a lot of screen time and just went home afterwards.
It's a bummer.
These couples eventually split, but said through the experiment that they really did fall in love. The producers probably won't make that mistake in season 2. We can probably expect more engaged couples on screen this time around. Downtime.
How you guys doing?
Even though the process sounds exciting, it can be quite boring too if you really aren't interested in the date. You have no way out of the pod. Apparently, if 2 people have no connection whatsoever but have a scheduled date, they would spend the time napping in the pods instead of forcing awkward conversations with each other. Now, that's a unique way to show you're not interested. It looks like a lot of time and effort has been put into place to help these singles find love, and it seems to have worked.
This is where it gets exciting.
Love is Blind has a pretty high success rate. Would you get engaged without having seen the person you're saying yes to first? Let us know in the comments below. Like this video if you want to stay up to date on the latest reality TV news. And we'll see you next time on The Things Reality.